Middlesbrough, born of the Industrial Revolution, but now we're coming out of that heavy industrial part of its life into a kind of new phase. There are layers of problems all interacting and feeding each other. People love Middlesbrough. The residents wouldn't want to live anywhere else. People feel at home quite quickly and people don't move on. But it means that our population's always changing. So we've got a kind of duality. Feels almost like it's two places. It's got one foot in the past, one foot very much in the future. There's still a constant evolution going on in the population, in the industry, how we live. The infrastructure isn't keeping up, but society is emerging and evolving all the time. So LocalMotion is a new way of exploring what's possible. So it isn't the traditional, it's a project with some defined outcomes and that's what we're funding over a set period of time. This is a much more fluid way of working. So for Middlesbrough, we've tried to travel two tracks simultaneously. So one about community wealth building, one about community well-being. Where we're coming to ultimately is they're both trying to address an underlying issue, and the underlying issue is poverty. And that's helpful because that gives us one focus, but lots of different ways to solve that issue. So some things work sometimes, and then they don't work sometimes. And my sense is this is how it's going to be for the next 8-9 years. Hopefully what it will have done is kick-started an enduring process of change and enduring evolution. It's a genuine effort to try and shift power to more grassroots levels so that the people who live and work and who are Middlesbrough have a greater say in the changes they want to see. We want to do something different so that we create enduring change. So we've managed to reach out to lots of grassroots communities and have really significant conversations with them where they've shared lots of ideas and lots of thoughts with us. We're still working on creating some data that we can then use to base decisions on through those conversations. So we're kind of about halfway through that process at the moment. We get senior people from anchor organisations into the room, and that feels like real breakthroughs, and the more it happens, the more significant it feels. We're not going to make an immediate breakthrough, but it feels like there is potential for us to develop a really constructive relationship with anchor organisations in a way that will deliver change in the longer term. Because at the end of the day, there is a longer term goal, and that's a better Middlesbrough. What has developed is a real interest in developing the Poverty Truth Commission model. Middlesbrough is particularly keen on taking that idea in its most pure form. That is something new that wouldn't have happened without the work that we'd done previously in the run-up to trying to work out what our long-term plan was going to be. But that model of working, I think, is going to be maybe quite central to what we end up doing. I'm really proud of the development of the card decks that we've used for the community conversations. We didn't expect that to happen. It just kind of evolved at the right time in the right space. And it just prompts people to kind of think about who they are, where they want to be. They may be developed as a kind of a tool that other people can use wherever. I'm kind of conscious that in the 40s, somebody mapped all the deprivation across Middlesbrough. And when you remap areas of deprivation across Middlesbrough now, it's exactly the same. Nothing has changed since the 1940s in terms of difficult communities to live in, communities with challenges they shouldn't need to be facing in 2023. So we have to get this right. I don't imagine there's a finished article at the end of this process. But I think the thing that we can build that will be an enduring structure will be a network of people who understand how they can get the best out of each other and how they can do the best for Middlesbrough. The work around community wealth building has sparked ideas that will be developed. So we're opening up lots of tracks of progress in different ways. That's new and interesting. We've not had that before. And I think for me, this is about relationships, it's about networks, it's about creating conversations that couldn't happen without that external catalyst. The thing that we can build that will be an enduring structure will be a network of people who understand how they can get the best out of each other and how they can do the best for Middlesbrough.